Yeah, let's start rolling. Thanks everyone for logging in for our. I guess this would be our third webinar, John, here in Canada. I know the states have done a couple as well. Today we're going to talk about the Prosharp SkatePal Pro 3. We have different machines on the market. We have our AS 2001 that does profiling and sharpening. We have our 1001 that does sharpening as well. Today we're going to talk about the SkatePal, which is a really awesome machine for a team, minor hockey team, junior team, pro team to be able to take on the road. It's very functional. It's easy to move around. So we'll talk about that today. So, John, you can click this next slide, and we'll start from here. As you can see in the center, this is our SkatePal Pro 3. It is a very easy machine to use. It has a self-centering clamp, which puts the center of the blade to the top of the hollow of the wheel of your machine. We'll go into more of its functions later. As you can see, bottom left picture, we have our SkatePal going under a bus for a destination hockey tournament for the team that was going there. You'll also see our home machine, which is beside it. So you can never have, too many machines available to sharpen your skates. Top right corner, you'll see it's very functional in a dressing room. In emergency situations, if somebody loses an edge, you can pop it right in there during the game, have them barely miss a shift. It's very functional, very easy to use. It has basically one button, has a power button, and then a functional button to just use it. And we'll go over that in a little bit. John will go over the full function of the machine once we go live that way. On this slide gives more of a description of the machine. This machine runs on pre-machined hollow diamond wheels. So it comes in all hollows, from flat, basically 1 inch, all the way to very sharp down to a 1/4 inch. Allows you to keep your edges sharp on the road. Whether you're in a hotel, we talked about a dressing room situation. Great for all goalie and players when you're traveling, and also a staple in your home dressing room as well. As mentioned, it is a one button operation, and it's very easy to change the wheels from different hollows, going from a 1/2 inch to 5/8. Very easy. All you do is loosen a lug nut, you switch out the wheel and put it back in. It's programmable up to 5 passes. So what that'll mean is 10 times over your skate blade. Depending on what the blade looks like going in the machine, will dictate how many passes you'll need. If it's just a maintenance sharpen, you might need only 1 or 2 passes to maintain your edges. Like it said, it sharpens goalie skates, player skates, also does figure skates. So if you're in a shop setting, it's a great machine to help with volume. Does any skate that can come in off the street, whether you're a professional that wants to maintain edges, all the way down to the recreational skater that's just using their skates for pond season or just for leisure skating. Great machine, and it does all different kinds of blades. It comes in a couple different grits for the wheels. We'll go over the fine grit, which we'll do in a best case scenario up to 750 sharpens. And like I said, this is going to be your best case scenario. Whether it's just maintenance sharpens for your machine, same skate, same hollow going over, you'll get up to 750 sharpens, and that is on our fine grit machine. I'm not sure if you can see, our faces on my screen are in this bubble, but in Canada, a sharpening wheel on a fine grit is only $159. In the US, it's $129. So taking out the cost of the machine, you're down to about 20 cents per sharpen based on the life of the wheel. So it's a very good value, as opposed to some of our competitors. Your cost per sharpening will be a lot more. So we designed our wheels to be able to have a long life to them, to be able to keep your edges sharpened. It also comes with a coarse grit wheel, which will have less sharpens or less passes per sharpen. So obviously a grittier finish on the wheel, less sharpens, takes out damage on any blades that might go in there a lot easier, and will last a lot longer. So up to 1,000 sharpens on a coarse grit wheel, and in Canada, $199, in the US, $159. So which will equate to down to 20 cents per sharpen and 16 cents per sharpen in the US and US dollars. You'll also see on this slide, it also has a channel wheel, which we call our Z channel, which is capable of doing. We're not going to talk about the Z channel today. It'll be another webinar, but know that it is capable of doing our Z channel sharpen for those who prefer that Z channel sharpen. For figure skates and goalie skates, you can purchase a 60 mil wheel, obviously smaller in diameter, for the flatter blades that you want to put in there, like I talked about goalie skates. It does also come in fine grit and coarse grit, and you'll see up on the screen the ROI calculations based on those if you're doing figure skates and goalie skates. Another accessory that you will want to purchase if you are doing figure skates is our toe pick protector at the bottom. You'll see that there. This works for both our SkatePal and our home machine. Works the same way. You actually clamp the toe pick protector over your toe picks of your figure skates. The machine will sharpen the flat part of your blades and will hit the toe pick protector to save those toe picks. So those are some of the functions. The brief overview of the machine. So what we'll do now is John over in Toronto will go over the functions of the machine and show you how easy it is to use.
Yeah, that's great, Joey. Well done going through kind of the main points there and the main accessories that can be used with the machine. So I just want to make sure the screen stops sharing here. I think we're all good. So as Joey mentioned there, I'm going to walk you guys through just how easy this machine is to use. And that was one of the main visions when this machine was designed. So see if I'm still on the camera here. So the SkatePal Pro3, it's been on the market for close to 15 years now, and it's one of the easiest machines to use that we have available. And it's also the cheapest machine to run on the market, as Joey just alluded to with the price of the wheels there. So simple one button operation, very easy to use, and we're gonna show you just how easy. So some of the most popular customers for this machine are going to be hockey teams. So we've got prep school teams, minor hockey teams, some professional league teams. They love the application of this machine just because of how transportable it is. Very, very easy to bring around with you. So when you receive the machine, it comes with a travel lid that snaps onto the machine very easily. The machine weighs less than 40 pounds and is very, very easy to bring with you from the car to the rink. So you remove it from your car, you get it set up in the change room if you're a team using the machine. Simply remove the travel lid, which has a storage container on the inside of it to keep your power cord and your wheels and consumables. On the right side of the machine, we've got our power button, so we'll flick that on. On here right now, I've got a fine grit 1-inch wheel mounted. That's what I've been using for my skates here as of late. So you position the skate in the clamp, and then you tighten the clamp handle on the right side of the machine here. So now our skate's in there nice and snug. Then our sharpen button, which is also located on the right side of the machine here, you simply press that once to perform one cycle. And now my grinding wheel is going to travel there and travel back and complete one full cycle. Depending on what type of condition the skates are in, you may find yourself needing 2, 3, or 4 cycles per skate. Simply press the button for the number of cycles that you want to complete. So while this is happening, you can be taking care of some other stuff in the change room. You can continue getting dressed. If you're in a shop setting, this is a very popular machine for the winter season, especially during pond hockey season when the sharpening wait times seem to increase very quickly in a shop. This is a great machine to have that you can set up for your standard 1/2 inch or your standard 5/8 cut and just simply get skates clamped and fired up, and you can be sharpening skates while you're sharpening skates on one of your other machines. So that there was one cycle. That was enough for me to feel burr on both edges. That's an indication that you've run enough cycles to complete the sharpen on the skate blade. Then you're going to want to use A combination of a couple different hones. So I like to use the ceramic side of the X3 or X5 hone and run that up and down with a slight angle just to remove that burr. While you're removing the burr on the first skate, it would make sense to get the second skate started and fired up for a few cycles so that you're continuing to sharpen while you're completing the edges on your first pair of skates. So that's one of the ways that you can really use a multi-machine setup in a shop to improve wait times and get skates sharpened a little bit quicker and get more done with the allotted time that you've got. So that's the operation of the SkatePal. I'll show you quickly just how easy it is to change the grinding wheels on these machines. Simply remove the access panel at the front of the machine. Pops off. And then we've got our grinding wheel just on the inside here where the motor package sits. Remove your grinding wheel like so. If we were about to sharpen a figure skate, we might install our 60mm smaller grinding wheel. Simply slot that in and then retighten that locking nut on the front of the grinding wheel. And now you're ready to sharpen some more pairs. So very easy to use machine, very consistent machine. One of the nicest things about it is the grinding wheel is going to have consistent wheel pressure from heel to toe. So whatever profile you're skating on, the existing shape of your skate blade, it will get maintained if using this machine to sharpen, and you're not going to run into the scenario where you've got significantly rounded down toes and heels by accident. Another item that's quite popular for customers of ours using the SkatePal is the magnetic blade holder. This is nice so that you can sharpen loose steel very easily by just sitting it in the clamp and then tightening the clamp. So you don't need the full boot to sharpen on this machine. So that's another nice little feature there. And yeah, those are going to be your main points with the SkatePal here. So easy to use, get training done a little bit quicker in a shop setting. Train some staff on your team to use this machine so that you can get skates sharpened before practices or games. Bring it with you on the road, no problem at all with the travel case. And yeah, just a very easy machine to use that creates good edges for you every time. So definitely recommend this for any team that's looking for a machine. You can incorporate it into your budget at the start of the year. And yeah, those are the main points here for the SkatePal. Is there anything else that you wanted to add to that here, Joey? Anything else that you think would be good for our viewers to know about?
Not to add, I just want to really dial in on how easy it is to use. And also, as a company, Prosharp talks about profiling. So all our machines, and this one is specifically, will help keep the shape of your blade through the life of your blades. So that'll maintain performance from a blade shape, and it'll also maintain performance easily from a rate of hollow shape. So the more often you can get your skates into a skate sharpener, you're going to have the same performance every time you step on the ice. We see kids that take their skates into a shop on a Monday, skate all week. Let's say they're on the rink for 5 ice times over 7 days. Their performance is depleting as they lose their rate of hollow in their skates. So having the ability to sharpen your skates more often, and we recommend every 1.5 to 3 hours on the ice, that will maintain your performance so you're not losing that competitive edge out there on the ice. So obviously having this machine, whether it's in your shop or in a team setting, actually helps performance to the end user. So obviously a very good tool for any hockey team that wants to stay competitive, doesn't want to risk losing edges. And, it's very great on the road and emergency settings too. So you don't lose time on the ice by losing edges.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good point. One other thing that I'll touch on here before we sign off for the day. One of the competitive AAA teams here in the Toronto area, the Mississauga Reps, they're midgets as well as minor midget teams. They've got a trainer that works with them, and he brings a SkatePal to the rink every time they play. And he'll sharpen the majority of the kids' skates on the team before each ice time. So the parents love that setup because at the start of the year, I think he charges each parent about $50 to $70, and that allows him to buy some grinding wheels for the season. And then sharpenings are taken care of. They don't got to drive to the shop and wait. They're able to get their skates done at their rink. And when they get them done every 1 or 2 times on the ice, as Joey alluded to there, it really improves your confidence with your skating. So you know the edges that you've got underneath your feet are there for you. And it really allows you to improve your skating mechanics and ultimately just become a more confident skater out on the ice. So the amount that you're sharpening is quite important to maintain those edges. And the easiest and cheapest way to do that is going to be on one of our SkatePal or home machines. So definitely something that might go overlooked for a lot of competitive players, but certainly something you should pay a little bit more attention to is your edges and how often you're maintaining them. So yeah,
thank you guys.
Well, all I got. Is there anything else you wanted to add here, Joey, on the SkatePal?
No, I just think it's a very useful tool for every hockey team out there. So if you on the fence about looking at a sharpener, please take a look at this SkatePal Pro3 and hopefully add it to your equipment.
Perfect. Very nice. Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll catch up with you next week. The guys at the Boston office are going to walk you through a different topic. And stay safe, stay warm, and we'll see you later.